There is never a good reason to be angry. I've been debating this with people on the internet lately, and I'm sure that if you clicked on this video, you're probably disagreeing with me. You're thinking, Matt, of course there's good reasons to be angry. You're out of your mind. Well, I disagree. In fact, I think anger is one of the biggest problems in our society right now, at least like in the part of the world that I'm experiencing as an American who spends a lot of time talking with people online around the world. Whatever slice of humanity that I'm a part of, everyone is way too angry all the time. And so when I say there is never a good reason to be angry, the immediate response is often one of a few things. One is just to go right to the most extreme. So, what if someone kicks a dog right in front of you? Shouldn't you be angry? I mean, you don't just want to stand there passively, right? Like, what if someone is, there's some adult just like hits a kid right in front of you? You should be angry about that, right? And I would say, that's not usually the situation that people are actually getting angry in. So, like, I'm not here to tell you if you get mad at someone for literally abusing an animal or a child, like, I'm not going to get in your face and be like, hey, bro, stop being angry. I'm going to be more concerned with the person doing the evil thing. The abuser is the one who I'm going to be focused on, making sure that they are not able to inflict harm. So I agree that's not really like the biggest starting point for the don't be angry thing. But the truth is, most people aren't getting angry every day because someone kicks a dog right in front of them. Most people are getting angry every day because they're seeing political opinions they disagree with, or someone making a dumb opinion about a TV show they like, or a band they listen to, or a hot take on therapy or psychology, or something that touches a nerve and makes you angry. I saw this when I posted on Threads and on YouTube as well, but the negativity was mostly on Threads, which was I said small talk. You can't hate small talk. It's not really an option. You have to be willing to do small talk, even if you kind of hate it. You have to do it anyway because it's the only way to really meet people and make friends. And a lot of people got mad at me about that because to them I was attacking them as a person. I was being quote unquote ableist, and I was basically assuming that their experience is the same as mine and not understanding their perspective as someone with anxiety. And of course, that's not all what I was doing. What I was actually doing is saying, hey, if you have anxiety, as I've also dealt with, learning to do small talk actually helps to make conversations less anxious, right? But people can immediately interpret that and get angry. And there's so many other things. It could be as simple as me saying, hey, I think the Beastie Boys aren't a very good band. And some people can just be like, haha, your music taste is bad, lol. But some people get actually mad, like, screw you, dude. How could you, you're so dumb. Who let you even talk about music? Obviously, the sillier the thing, the more pointless the anger. But I think we have to acknowledge that a lot of us are getting angry all the time, getting, triggered in a small sense into anger by the randomest stuff. And sometimes when we're bored, we even go looking for things to make us angry because it sort of stimulates a feeling and gets us out of a sense of lethargy or boredom, right? So I feel like the whole don't be angry thing, there's like two different conversations. One is like, sure, the extreme level. What if someone, kills a man right in front of you? Should you be mad about that? Like maybe, I would still argue that it's better to be concerned, alarmed, scared, sad, taking action from some place of self-defense. It doesn't need to come from the uncontrollable, volatile feeling of anger. But the bigger thing is to put aside the extremes and just notice how often do you get angry at stuff that is pointless, mundane, truly not deserving of your emotional energy. And what if you recognize those times and start to just challenge it? Start to sort of look inward, take a deep breath, and go, should I really be angry? Is this anger helping me, them, or the world in general? And because that's kind of the other piece. So the other disagreement I get, and there's some validity here, there's the idea of you have to be angry about injustice. If you're not angry about injustice, if you're not angry about, people who are being taken advantage of, poverty that goes unchecked, or greed among wealthy people, and like, people who don't want to pay their fair share in taxes to help the poor, or whatever, like people perceive the injustice to be, racial issues, gender issues, whatever it may be, oppression and things of that nature. Even then, I just feel like the anger isn't really as helpful as you think it is. The anger is what leads to tribalism. The anger is what leads to people not thinking clearly. It leads to mob mentality. Anger is how your concern about injustice turns into a mob of people with pitchforks and torches. It's how, like, a genuine concern can become corrupted through anger. So I don't even think the idea that anger in response to injustice or in response to like systematic evil is effective. I think it just makes us more stressed out, more depressed. It makes us ultimately feel more, forced into conflict. And even if conflict becomes necessary, I still don't think anger is a useful way to do it. Anger reduces your capacity. When you're angry, you are less capable of doing things effectively and getting things done. And so to be angry in the face of a challenge or of, to fight it back against evil through anger, to me it feels like sort of taking the bait, being baited into anger, reducing your own capacity and being less able to fight that fight. Anger does not hurt the person you're angry at. It hurts the person who is angry. So when you're angry, it hurts you, not the target of your anger. It's a classic quote. Being angry at someone is like holding hot coals and expecting the other person to burn, And so to be angry at injustice, to be angry at evil, it still feels like it's the same thing. It's to hold those hot coals because that other person is so angry that I'm going to burn my hands with these hot coals. It feels in the moment like the anger is justified and rational, but really it's self-destructive. It reduces your ability to do good in the world. And I think, in theory, very difficult to do this in reality, but in theory, there is no good reason to be angry. Even the most evil people, the worst things of all time, there's some combination of concern and a desire to do good and sadness that other people could act that way. There's some other constellation of emotions that gets you to self-defense and fighting back without letting anger corrupt the goodness within us. So that's my opinion. That's my hottest philosophical take. Not original, of course. Goes back to the Bible and many other places. I actually got this from Leo Tolstoy, the author of War and Peace, Anna Karenina, in a sort of obscure book within his catalog, but very influential for some people, called The Kingdom of Heaven is Within You. And I don't really read it for religious reasons, but it makes a very good argument that you should basically be as unangry and as unconfrontational as possible. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Check out the Tolstoy if you want to see some more. The Kingdom of Heaven is Within You is the name. And that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Signing out.